If anyone is going through a rough time within their lives, doesn't matter if you're old, young, or you're in between, no matter what chapter you are in your life, I would like to share my story, my struggles, with what I personally went through. Forgive me if I'm completely rambling. This is going to be a complete run through with what is going on through my mind after everything that I went through. The pain, the suffering of the both physical and mental conditions and episodes that I have faced throughout a little more than a year at this point. I would like to take you, the viewer, the music lover, or the raver, whoever, on my journey from my perspective, what I was able to record to the best of my abilities. So I will give you how I nearly lost everything and how I'm struggling to get it back right now, little by little. This all started on the first day of September of 2022. I remember being in a desk and I just simply stood up. My left leg gave out completely, and before I knew it, I was hopping on one foot. 2 weeks later, it happened to both feet, and you saw earlier in the video, I was dragging my rear end all over the place, and I was stuck in a wheelchair on my 28th birthday. A little fast forward after my birthday, my folks and I decided we need to go to the other side. We gotta go to Mexico to see who can heal you. And by far, this was one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging journeys that I've ever been a part of for my physical health. This journey, not just anybody will be able to manifest, others will manifest very, very differently. I remember to this day, my first session, I was being carried in the arms of my family. And the pain that I went through, the way that I lost both of my feet were so sensitive. I do not wish this pain on anyone. This was very, very brutal. I was scared that I would never walk again. I was scared that I would never run again. But the first session that I went through therapy, despite being extremely painful, I would rather take that any day than go through medicine, than go through pills, drugs, needles, being stuck in a hospital bed. I'm very grateful that I have come a very, very long way. And some may be thinking that all these pictures seems like an incredible vacation you had. No. I have gathered all these photos and videos to remind myself of what I went through, and I wish that nobody had to go through. Despite me being in an area where it looked very beautiful, my body and my head were fighting different obstacles. Various times I remember I just wanted to be normal again. I wanted to have a job, a career, because I had almost everything. I finally had a career at the age of 27. I had it going for me for 5 months as an airport officer. Earlier in the video, you saw this type of thick jacket on a shelf. That was the time I turned everything in because I was no longer an airport officer. And I had to do it firsthand because nobody else would be able to do it for me. I went up and down Mexico 6 to 7 times for my physical health. But it slowly but surely became something more cumbersome for my body that I started to get very, very tired of fighting. I just wanted to be normal again. I wanted to have people talk to me again. I wanted, for the first time in years, for girls and women to have an interest in me. I had respect from my place. I was making money, and just for all that to be thrown out the window, I nearly lost everything. And half of the time I was in Mexico, I went by myself. That was the last 3 rounds, and I was happy I was able to do that because I was regaining my independence. I was regaining my strength to go back out there. And I want to thank everyone that helped, my family members, and even these 2 dogs that are right here they've helped me out a lot too, just like my family has. Unfortunately, even family can end up ripping you apart. Even family can become quite troublesome in your path to healing, both physically and mentally. And if that wasn't bad enough, from inside my family circle, outside of my family circle, people I wanted to know ended up disrespecting me, doing me wrong. And I will not call out anyone, but at the end of the day, we all got to be careful with people. And that's why I very, very much like to be alone for the majority of the time. But it gets very, very lonely, and I just wish I had people I could trust that are outside of my family, you know? I don't have people that I can call friends officially. I've been a lone wolf, I've been a lone raver all my life, and it was rough. It was very, very rough. But like I said, despite people hurting me inside, outside of my circle, me going through all this pain, I don't wish this upon anyone. But the most important thing that we gotta hold on to are those good family members. And this right here was a little bit of a recording that I surprised my cousins. I was gonna support a wedding for one of my cousins that was getting married. The family's growing through time. We have very limited time on this planet. I wasn't placed here to utilize people. I wasn't placed here to just become what some people would end up saying, a toxic person. Someone who utilizes people, a leech or whatever you want to call it. And it's sad. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, and I'm no way perfect. No one is perfect on this planet.
Family is the most important
But
thing.
knowing that just this one incident took everything away from me, that was rough.
It's been a rough ride.
And this was a piece of the therapies that I would have to go through. Over 15 physical therapies, over me taking care of my feet, being careful. There's a piece of me that tells me I wish I didn't have to go through this. Because I feel like there are other people who deserve to be in the beach. There are other people who deserve to be healed. But it was my time that I had to heal. And I was still fighting myself in my head. I mentally broke down a good amount of times to saying I don't want to be in that place anymore. It is tough being happy for the majority of the time. And it's easy to fall into anything that can consume you completely. I'm glad that I've never done any drugs, never alcohol, none of that stuff. Because I would have been in a longer road of recovery. I would not be in the place that I am right now. But when doors close, new doors open. New people will come into your life. I am grateful from where I'm at right now, how much I fought. And just 90% better than what I am. My feet are still going through a bit of pain, and I may need to return to certain areas to get healed up from what I previously thought. But at the time of this recording, I can look back from everything that I recorded, time in and time out. And I told myself one day I know I was going to tell this story to those people, whoever is struggling. It doesn't matter if you're into drugs, if you're into alcohol, if you're into gambling, whatever the case may be, you gotta find a way. You gotta find yourself to come out stronger from what you previously were. As you know, we're all imperfect. No one is on this planet is perfect. No one on this planet should have a giant ego. No one on this planet should think of themselves as an almighty. But I know that this was the time for me to heal. This was the time for me to grow stronger, to grow faster, to grow more intelligent, to become better than what people did to me, than what I was exposed of. And at the end, I hope no one goes through this, because this was a very, very rough road. But if anything that I learned, I've loved myself so much more. This is my 29th birthday gift from me to you, to everyone that listens to this. And I want to say thank you for watching this video. Keep fighting. You'll make it. You can find me here on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Links will be in the EDM box below. Lastly, thank you once more. Keep listening, stay safe, and rave on.